All right. Welcome, everybody. It is Wednesday evening to Mindset Power Planning, and I'm Sandra Dilbeck. For those of y'all that don't know me, but we're getting to know Miss Verna a little bit there. And Tammy, I'm hoping that you're getting to eat your dinner because I know you probably just popped in the door and so forth. Um, so, oh my gosh, there's so much to start with today. And I went back and looked at some of my things that I write down for my daily tasks and so forth. She's feeding her face, which I opened chat group because I do need y'all. I'm going to have y'all pop in and give some feedback on something. And I mean, I really want you to be like blatant and honest. Whenever I'm asking y'all to do that. So first things first, take a look. Did you do your birthdays yet today? I have not. I have not done my birthdays yet. Yesterday, I was great with them because I had 11 I had to do. Verna's giving me a thumbs up. She's already done her birthdays, which is awesome. So I'm going to tell you a little trick that it's not really a trick that I've learned. It's just something that I had to do for myself for self-preservation, I guess. Birthday reach outs, you know how much we love having somebody wish us a happy birthday and whatever. I find them cumbersome, and I shouldn't, because these people they're very special in my lives. All these people that I'm friends with on Facebook, they're people I really and truly know. And so birthdays shouldn't be cumbersome, but when you've got 11 in a given day, I just don't feel like it's sincere enough. Copy and paste, copy and paste. Now, those of y'all that are on here that know me, what do I say all the time? I'm not going to send you a text message. What am I usually going to send y'all? A voice clip. Why? Because I talk faster than I type. Well, guess what? This week, I started doing my birthday reach outs via Messenger. I'm getting my butt in their Messenger to begin with, and I'm sending them a voice clip. I talked about this last week. There are only a few people I sing happy birthday to, but I'm wishing everybody their own personal birthday message. And y'all, I got 11 of them knocked out yesterday in the time it probably would have taken me to copy and paste and find the cute picture that I wanted to go with them and what have you. I had them all done. And guess what? People will respond. They'll respond back. So let me give you some feedback on some of these. Okay. I've had over the last 2 days, more than half have come back and messaged me back. And so let me find one. I've already opened them up. Oh, thank you so much. What a cool way to do a birthday message. One of them, it's a girl that she and Ainsley used to play together in Virginia, and she and Ainsley are the same age. And she was like, "This is absolutely my favorite birthday message thus far. Thank you so much." Now, I haven't seen her since she was 5 years old. But, oh, Verna, what do I say? You know what? Which I always call everybody sister, or you might say girlfriend or whatever. But I just get in there and I just say, "Hey, sister," I'm like, "I hope that you have the best birthday ever. It's a great day to celebrate. I hope the sun is shining over there, down there in wherever it is that they live and so forth. Who's making you a birthday cake today, and where are they going to take you to dinner? Or if they're not taking you to dinner, girlfriend, they better be making you a fancy dinner. But just keep on celebrating, sister, because each day is a precious gift," something like that. And I just change it up for each person. And so, that's where your personality will come out in those birthday messages. And yes, you can still post a funny picture. I have one that somebody put on my wall that I save it to use for I don't send it out for everybody, and it gets the best reaction when I do use that. So if birthday reach outs are not your jam, but you still want to make sure you're getting them done and you want to be able to get into their messenger, this is a great way to start conversation. I've got a birthday reach out from, I think, like 3 days ago. We're still having a conversation, y'all. Holy moly. That would never have happened with my just usual birthday posts and so forth, because like we've talked about, they've got so many that they weed through, and that's why a lot of folks will do their birthday reach outs either the day before or the day after. So anyway, just my 2 cents worth about birthdays. So once we finish here, I'll hop on there and I will get my birthdays finished. Okay, so let's take a look at rate of run. Now, it dawned on me this afternoon after tickets were being bought for Thrivapalooza that Thrivapalooza tickets are counting as QV. So it's counting because all of a sudden my tracker, my needle moved, and I'm like, oh, did somebody place an order that I didn't know about? And I got to looking, and Thrivapalooza tickets are counting as QV. So holy moly macaroni, who would have known that? So let's go into your secondary device if you have that with you. Let's log into your cloud. And Verna, we're checking what's called rate of run. It helps us to keep track of where we are for the month and if we are on track for where we want to be. And I can tell y'all right now that before I even check my rate of run, I know I am not where I want to be. So my word tonight is going to be absolutely on point with me getting my rate of run going. I had a word that popped in my head a couple of days ago for tonight's Zoom, and I'll share that with y'all in a second. All right, so go down to your business snapshot. Look at what your QV is. Oh, it went up. Okay, hot diggity dog. Take that number. We're going to go into your calculator. Take that number that your QV was, and we're going to divide it by, what is today? It's the 10th. Divide it by 10. Okay, now you've come up with a smaller number. Take that number. I always have to write mine down because I tend to forget it. Take that number and we're going to multiply it by 31 days because there are 31 days in the month of March. Oh, holy moly. I like this QV a lot, or this rate of run a lot better. Is it where I really and truly want to be? No. But am I getting there? You bet your sweet bippy I am. So if you want to know what my rate of run is, my rate of run this, or not my rate of run, but my goal that I want to get to at the end of the month, it's a big goal. I'm going to be honest with y'all. It's 80K. It's huge. But if you are looking at, okay, you know, you've been 12K before and you're like, I want to shoot to 40K. Sometimes, you know, I've even used 20K as a number for the end of the month. It's not an official rank, but you know what? There's a big difference between 12K and 20K. You've got to hit something in order to get to the 40K. And so don't discount having kind of like an interim little goal at the end of your month. Now, I'm not saying sell yourselves short. And that's okay, Verna, because you know what, girlfriend, you are going to reach 4K. You're going to do it before the end of April. And sister, you're going to earn the 4K rank advancement bonus. And we're all going to be sitting in here in this power planning group, and we're going to be jelly that you've hit that 4K rank advancement bonus. I'm trying to get my husband to 12K. Holy moly. And of course, like he doesn't do anything, so it's all on me. But rate of run, I mean, y'all, it has rocked our world. Tammy's the one who showed us how to do that. I think she saw it from Courtney Glazer, and it just makes such a huge difference. So I don't remember if it was last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever I said I wanted y'all to challenge yourselves, something that you've been wanting to learn how to do. And I want you to challenge yourself and work on getting it done over these next couple of days, you know, whether you have to go in and dive in and learn how to do it or whatever. I can't remember if that was last Wednesday or the week before. I've kind of slept since then a little bit, but I'm going to tell y'all what I had on my list. I have to keep putting my readers on because I'm old and I have to be able to read my small print here. When I wear my glasses, it's probably not as distracting. Okay, so here's what I had on my list. I wanted to learn Reels, which is over in Instagram world. I wanted to learn TikTok. I wanted to figure out what I was doing wrong in Pixlr. And I wanted to work on learning Lightroom and presets. And I'll talk to you in a second about presets. So guess what? Last week I did my first reel. Wasn't fantastic. I mean, wasn't anything great big, but it was really cool. And what I did was I turned it on. I was on the floor here in my office. I have the boxes that you can order from the Lavelle Gear Store, and I was filling them up with, you know, a 2-day sample pack. And so I made that into my reel, and I added music with it. And holy moly, I was like, Tammy, I just did my first reel. And y'all, guess what? It wasn't as hard as I made it out to be. Mm-hmm. How many times do we do that for so many things? We make it, so got to get rid of that word fear, like we've talked about, fear, replace it with excitement. I was so excited that Reels was not as hard as what I thought it was going to be. Pixlr. Pixlr was not as hard as I thought it was going to be. There was a button that I wasn't pushing in order to get to what I wanted. And all it took me was texting someone and going, how do I get that? And she highlighted where the button was, what I needed to push. And y'all, once I did it, it took 2 seconds. I'd spent 3 weeks on trying to figure out Pixlr by myself. If you're trying to figure out something and you know there's got to be a shortcut that's going to be easier, ask someone. Don't waste time like I did. Now, TikTok is still a work in progress. I will let y'all know when I post my first TikTok, okay? I will let y'all know. Now, Lightroom and presets. I'm not really sure what Lightroom is, but presets, I'll tell you what that is. So I learned this from a girl on the bus coming back from the resort to the airport after the Cabo trip. She has been in this business for 18 months. She's younger, she's cuter, she's perkier, but I don't care. It doesn't matter, because you know what? We are all who we are. But she showed me and said, her husband's gotten better, but she takes a ton of selfies. Okay, maybe almost too many, because I was behind them in line at the airport. But take a bunch of different selfies. Like we've had leaders before talk about on Sundays, they go to church. So they come home, they're dressed nice. Then they change their shirt. They take a bunch of pictures doing different motions or whatever. You can, put your hand up. You've got your three steps right here in your hand when you copy and paste the picture. Those are what she considers her presets. And it's like, oh, okay, that's pretty genius. And she'll just move a little different direction. She said it took her husband forever. She had to train him how to do that. Well, I can just tell y'all, Charlie Dillback stinks at it. So Tammy Battaglia, I'm coming over to your house someday when I'm dressed nice. I'm gonna say, sister, can you please take some pictures of me? And then you can use them for anything. Save them, and you can reuse them. You don't have to feel like you've got to look fantastic every single day. I mean, you can be in your workout clothes. Today, Olivia had her little sticks and she had her workout clothes on, but she had her new Thrive Against Cancer DFT on her arm. Didn't say anything about her DFT, talked about the little sticks that she uses for workout. So that's what she considered her presets. Now, here is where I want you to kind of be honest with yourself. What did you write down was something that you were going to learn, that you wanted to learn, that you did not know how to do, or you didn't know how to use it, or whatever? Now, be honest with yourself. Have you made any steps forward in trying to get that part accomplished? All right, Sonia Whalen, I'm going to snatch you bald-headed. You need to put that first step one foot in front of the other. And girlfriend, you can do it. If I can do a reel, and if I get my first TikTok done, you can do whatever it is that you put your mind to, okay? If you don't know what the first step is that you need to do in order to learn this task, Google it. I'm the queen of Google. If you've accomplished those, put one more thing out there. Okay, Lisa, we're going to learn TikTok together, girlfriend. We're going to learn it. You and I will do a big old dance in your living room. Okay. Now, I have not forgotten IMs. I've talked with y'all before about how, I use that app, that IM app. And a lot of times I will just write down some of the IMs that, oh, Verna, you did a TikTok? Holy moly. I'm going to have you tell about that here in just a few minutes. Okay. So y'all know that IMs are one of the things that I'm the most uncomfortable doing. It's like the Saturday Night Live episode. I am good. I am kind, And so I think that's where my vision of IMs comes from. So most of y'all have heard this from me, but I use that app that's called IM. You can set how many times it comes into your phone throughout the day, and you can set the different categories. One of them that I had saved, it says, I'm a magnet for money. Okay, well, cool. You know, here's one for every single person on here. My dreams are much greater than my fears. And so if you have you struggled with your I ams, find some of the ones that have been your favorite, possibly on this. And okay, Verna says she struggles too, not sure what to do for I am. That's where I wanted y'all to respond in here. So when you're doing your I ams, I always think of it as, you know, at the beginning of the week, the things that when you look at the end of the week that you have accomplished. You know, not necessarily I want to or this. I did get 12K under Charlie's account. It's what you're already writing down that you have accomplished. So what I'd love for y'all to do here in chat group, and you don't have to like bare your soul or anything, but I would love for y'all to put some of your I ams that you recite to yourself every single day. Monday mornings, I get on Susan's Zoom, and she has I ams that she uses for the whole week. And those are the ones she says every day. And then she has some that she changes every single day. Lindsay writes them down every single day so that they are always in the forefront of her mind of what it is that she's going to do. My word for tonight's Zoom is intention. This is the word that popped into my head a few days ago after I had listened to a like a podcast deal. Your I ams set the intention of what you want your week to be. All right, so far I don't have any I ams over here in chat. Okay, you're writing them down. Okay, good deal. So I'm going to talk just a little bit more about intention while y'all are writing down your I ams. We always are talking about what you're putting into your mind first thing in the morning. And that sets the intention for your day, just like your I ams do. I know a lot of y'all do different things in the morning for your, you know, for putting in the positives first thing in your day. You get to set what the intention is for your day. Your intention is that even if people are driving you bat crazy, you're not going to lose your mind. You've got, okay, cool. Thank you, Sonia. Oh, good. Thank you. And by the way, if y'all did not know this, you can actually copy. There's 3 little dots out to the side of each little comment. You can click that and it will say copy, and then you can go drop it into your note section on your phone or on your computer or whatever your device you're using. So when you wake up in the morning, this is your chance to set your intention for the day. Not only what you're putting in your ear, but how are you going to choose to respond to different things throughout the day? You know, when I had my 9 to 5, actually longer than that, my 8 o'clock till who knows what time I got home from my teaching job, there were things that pulled at me every second and every minute of the day. And it could be a matter of seconds and I could lose my mind, you know, or somebody's complaining about this down the hall, or you've got a group of teachers that are in the hallway, whatever. And yeah, you can jump into that and you can let that feed into your brain. But if you set your intention, you don't have to listen to the water cooler conversations. You can block that out because your intention is that nobody is going to mess with your goal for the day. Nobody's going to mess with you having a great day, and that you're going to walk out of work happy, stress-free, and you're not having to be road rage on the way home. When you set your intention like that in the morning, it keeps your focus on what you want your day to be. Yeah, there's going to be crap that gets thrown at you in all different directions, but it just helps keep your focus laser. Okay, Sonia's adding in for us over here in chat group some of the ones that Tammy shares in Dream Team. I always make the right business decisions. We tend to second guess ourselves. If you're saying I always make the right business decisions, you won't ever second guess yourself. And I know you guys can read. This one is good. I deserve to receive support in my business. Y'all copy these. If you've got a hard time coming up with your own, start with these, and then it's just going to help your brain come up with even more I ams. You can copy those and paste them into your notes section. Sticking with the word intention, I asked 2 leaders which I love and admire everybody, but I asked 2 leaders who are very important in my life, what did the word intention mean to them? My thought process was like you're setting your intention for the day. The first leader that I asked what intention meant to her, she said that if you are not intentional about the work that you're doing, you're not going to move the needle. Yes, we can be intentional about getting on the Zooms, but does that move the needle? You may get a great idea, but are you going to be intentional about putting it into place? Or have you gotten so many ideas that you don't even know which one to begin with? It doesn't really matter. Just jump in and try. And you may see, oh, this idea worked great for so-and-so, but it's not working so great for me. I bought a recipe card box. I bought those big old recipe cards. Guess what? That is not my jam. I got 5 recipe cards done and I went, this is not me. So I use those note cards now for my grocery list. They're still getting used, but in order for me to be intentional about keeping track of everyone, I had to find my own way that worked for me. Don't always be spending every minute of every hour trying the new best thing in order to keep your business organized. You find what works for you, and it can be the simplest thing, such as a 3-subject notebook. And if that's what works for you, great. But be intentional. Yeah, be intentional about how you use it. If you're on a Zoom and you hear someone go, oh, well, I found this idea, da, 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 da. I mean, I watched a whole Zoom one time about Trello. Okay, so I spent a ton of time typing everybody into Trello, da, 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 da. And I realized, guess what? You know why it's not going to work for me? I'm not techie. I'm not techie. I can barely copy and paste. And I went, okay, this is not going to work for me. I come old school, write it down. So I'm not going to be able to move the needle if I'm constantly trying to do this organization piece or this organization piece or this one. It doesn't matter. Just get the crap down. When you're intentional, you're also sincere. And I think you're going to know what I'm talking about here. And Sonia, the hardest part for me is figuring out how to be organized. Sonia, that's kind of where, you know what, and that's where you could talk with your leader and find out, like, are you visual? Are you this or are you that? I mean, I know you're techie because you're on a computer all the time, but you're old school like me. So what do you feel like would work best for you? Is it writing things down or is it having things on a computer? You know, that's where you kind of have to figure out what works best for you. But whatever it is that you figure that out, sticking with that method. Being intentional in the method that you use. Being intentional in your sincerity. People are going to know your heart and they're going to know your mind because they know you and you come across through social media as yourself. If you're trying to be someone else that you're not, people can sense it. You're not being intentional with who you are. There's a leader who I absolutely adore, but I've noticed a change in posts. I've noticed a change. And I have come to realize, as beautifully as she words things, these are not worded the way that she normally words things. She's being intentional, but is the sincerity showing through? What's showing through to me is that someone else is writing those. Be you, do you, and be intentional about who you are. And then the last person that I asked what intentional meant to them is on this screen. I love her and I adore her. And she said that she felt like the word intentional, she combined the word worth and worthiness. Instead of being distracted by things that are going on, your intentions about what you're doing during the day or in your life ensure that you spend your precious time and breath on things that are important. That all circles back to in your morning time when you're starting your day and you set your intentions for your day. That's going to help cut down on the distractions through the day. That was the word intention has been a big aha for me this last week. You know, we hear it a lot, but when you break it down into what does it truly mean for your day and how you can make your day go in the path that you want it to and check off these things that you want to have happen, it starts first thing in the morning. I looked back at things I had written down 3 weeks ago that I wanted to do during the day, and I did not keep up with writing them down for every single day. And there were a couple things on here that went by the wayside. I've got to be intentional, and I have to see these things in my list every single day. My intention this morning was to get my birthday reach outs done before I had to leave and go to the doctor's office. Well, my niece called. Then my dad called. It's 7:58 and I still have not done my birthday reach outs. I have let the distractions of the day take away from my intentions of what I wanted to have done and accomplished. And so whenever I'm talking about this kind of stuff, I'm not just talking to y'all, I am talking to myself. Big time. Tomorrow morning, I will be getting up early and driving to Lima to go take care of the babies. So before I go to bed tonight, I am going into Messenger and I'm going to do my birthday reach outs and wish them a happy early birthday. Hey, I wanted to wish you a happy early birthday. I got to get up super early in the morning, and I wanted to make sure that being with the babies did not keep me from making sure that you got a great birthday reach out or something or other, you know, whatever. I will have them done before I go to bed. I'm not going to let the busyness of tomorrow take away what I know I need to get done today. We were talking the other night on the Zoom about, you know, how this week has not had a whole lot of different distractions in it. And it's a great week for, Tammy was talking about this, how it's a great week for us to dive into our reports and so forth. And rather than getting overwhelmed at, oh my gosh, I need to reach out to this many customers and so forth, choose a promoter that may not necessarily be, you know, doing anything on your team, or they may have fallen off the wagon or whatever. I've totally forgotten that you can see who their customers are. And then you can go in and you can message them. I re-listened to the Zoom from the other night because it's awkward, but I re-listened to it, listened to what Tammy had to say about reaching out. Hey, I was going through my reports with Lavelle, and I just realized that you are a part of my team. I'm Sandra Dilbeck. How are you doing? You know, whatever, blah, 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 blah. A lot of these people may not even know who you are. So rather than feeling like you've got to get so-and-so's all of her customers done in one day, you can divide it up. That being said, I posted a picture of Reese yesterday morning, and Verna, that's my granddaughter. She's cute as a bug. She's only 10 months old. And she was like, had her hands up in the air like she was cheering. Y'all, there's 183 people that have liked that picture, loved it, or whatever. Those are my reach outs. But I could get really overwhelmed and not be intentional with them if I don't write them down and spread it out. Those are people I can go make some comments on. Some of those people that are popping in there, I haven't seen them in a while. So I can go in and I can be intentional. I could even send them a message. Oh my gosh, I have not seen your stuff popping up in my Facebook. And then I just see that you liked Reese's picture. How is everything going for you? Everything is made in Messenger. What is it Billy Holderby says? Tammy, what did Billy Holderby say? Millions are made in Messenger. Is that what he said? Yeah.
Yeah, millions are made in Messenger.
Millions are made in Messenger. Having those real, live, intentional conversations. So, anywho, I want you to be intentional about what it was you wanted to learn. I want to learn Thrive lingo in Spanish. That's one of my next goals. I have 5 Spanish promoters. I can't understand them half the time. And they laugh at me. So I have notebooks that I use. I also have my phone I save notes on. Verna, you have the same problem. Verna, you know what I do, sister, is I save a lot of the things that I want to use in my notes section on my phone. If it's a longer, verbiage or whatever, and it's something that I send anytime I make like a brand new account. Okay, you should have just received an email from Lavelle, the company that makes Thrive, da 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 da. I had that in my notes section. That way I'm not having to, retype it out. I can just copy and I can paste it and I can send it to that person. I do tweak it and change it up so that it is apropos for whoever that person is. So I'm intentional about making sure that it is still personal for them. And then here's a good one. Are you being intentional about your story? Are you being intentional about the funnel? Sharing your story, getting the email, getting their link made, putting them in a 3-way chat group. Are you being intentional with those things, or there's pieces that you're leaving out just because they're uncomfortable? I can guarantee you that if you're not being intentional with the funnel and there's a piece you're leaving out, that's the missing link. How do I know that? Because sister right here did it. I left out 3-way chats and 3-way calls for 6 months. Ask me where I went. Pretty much nowhere. So are you being intentional with that? And the last challenge I have for you is Maria's got a big thing going on right now about how important. Okay, Verna says, I don't put everybody in the chat. You know what? You know who is definitely needing the chat. However, the chat groups are not for us. It's to make sure that we get them all the best info. And that way it gives them the third-party validation. But so here's my last intentional piece I want to share with you. I want you to be intentional about sharing not only your story, but sharing someone else's story. So I'm challenging every single one of y'all by next Wednesday that you have gone live, whether, however you want to do it, but you've gone live and you have invited a friend to come on and share their Thrive story. You can do it interview style. You can kind of banter back and forth a little bit. And we use StreamYard.com a lot. It's just so much easier than getting on live in Facebook land, with 2 people. And if you're not familiar with StreamYard, it is not an app. It's StreamYard.com. Super easy, free, and it makes it so much easier to do a live with someone. So I'm challenging everybody to make sure you go live next week. Invite somebody to go live with you, and let's be intentional about it. But y'all are awesome. Thank you so much for putting all the I ams in there and sharing the ideas. Sonia, I did not get them copied and saved fast enough. So do you have them saved in your note section? Okay, can you send those to me through Messenger? Okay, awesome. All right, and if there's something you feel like you need to challenge yourself to, please do that. And I will see y'all next Wednesday. Bye, everybody.